Go.
Clybourne Park, Bruce Norris. The set is the interior of a modest 3-bedroom bungalow, 406 Clybourne Street, in the near northwest of central Chicago. There's a sitting room with front door access, a fireplace with an oak mantelpiece, and a separate dining area with built-in cupboards. At the rear of the dining area, a swinging door leads to a kitchen. A staircase leads up to the second floor, and beneath it, another door leads down to a basement. There is a hallway and a bathroom door as well. Act 1. September 1959, 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon. The house is in disarray. Cardboard boxes are stacked in corners. Some furniture has been removed, shelves emptied. Pictures have been removed from the walls, and carpets have been rolled and stood on end. Not far from the fireplace, Russ sits alone reading a copy of National Geographic. He is dressed in pajama pants, pajama top, and chinos, socks, no shoes. On a table next to him sits a carton of ice cream, into which from time to time he dips a spoon. Music plays softly on his transistor radio. After a moment, Bev descends the stairs carrying linens, which she will add to a cardboard box. As she does, she stops to look at Russ.
You're not going to eat all of that, are you?
Turns down the radio.
What'd you say?
What ice cream is that?
Neapolitan.
Well, don't feel compelled to eat that.
It's going to waste.
He turns the radio back up, and Bev crosses to the dining room. Francine enters from the kitchen wearing a maid's uniform. Russ remains in the foreground as we overhear.
You're muted.
So if it's all right, I'm just going to put these candlesticks here in a big box with the utensils.
That is what I would do, yes. But you do mean to wrap them first.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Oh, no, Francine, I was wondering about this chafing dish, which we have practically never used.
Yes, ma'am.
You own one of these yourself?
No, I sure don't.
Because I do love to entertain, though for the life of me, I can't remember the last time we did. But still, it does seem a shame to give it away because it's such a nice thing, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it is.
And it just looks so lonely sitting there in the cupboard. So I was wondering if this might be this sort of thing that would be useful to you.
Oh, thank you. I couldn't use that.
See how sad he looks?
You don't want to be giving that to me.
Well, nonetheless, I'm offering.
No, I don't think you should.
Well, you think about it.
But thank you for offering.
You think about it and let me know.
Yes, ma'am.
And do put some paper around those.
Yes, ma'am.
Francine goes into the kitchen. Bev continues to pack, passing Russ.
What a funny word, isn't it? Neapolitan.
Turns off the radio.
Funny what way?
Well, what do you suppose is the origin of that?
Naples, I imagine.
Naples?
City of Naples?
No.
Of or pertaining to?
That would not be my first guess.
Yeah.
I would think it had something to do with neo, as in something new, and then there's the politan part, which to me would suggest a city, like metropolitan.
Could be.
Meaning new city or something to that effect.
Yeah. Told you what I think.
Because a person from Naples, I mean, they wouldn't be called, well, not Napoleon, obviously. I guess that was already taken. On the other hand, you do say Italian, but it's cities, though. And specifically ones that end in S, because there must be a rule of some sort, don't you think? Help me think of another city other than Naples that also ends in S. Oh, fiddle.
Des Moines.
Not a silent S.
Brussels.
All right, there you go. And how do we refer to them?
Belgians.
But the people from the city.
Never met anyone from Brussels.
But there has to be a word.
Look it up.
Where?
Dictionary.
But it's not going to say this is the capital of Belgium. And by the way, the people who live there are called...
Well, give Sally a call.
She won't know.
She and Ray went to Paris.
So?
Close to Brussels?
Sally never knows those sort of things.
Huh?
What?
Parisians.
What about them?
Paris
Francine
and-
returns with more packing.
Paris ends in S.
But it's not Brusselsians.
Or Nice.
I'm serious.
It's got the S sound.
But not Nicians, like Grecians.
No. Niçois.
I know that, but
No, that's salad your sister makes.
that's French.
It's a French city.
I understand, but I'm saying, how would we say in well, now I don't even remember the original question.
Brussels.
No.
Des Moines. Naples.
Naples. And I don't think Neapolitan. How would that become Neapolitan?
Muscovites.
What?
People from Moscow.
Oh, I give up because that's just peculiar.
Muscovites.
I wonder if they're musky.
Muscovites.
Carinese.
That is a strange one.
I'm telling you, that's what they're called.
I am not disputing.
But why Carinese?
Dated a girl named Irene.
Or Congolese?
That too is correct.
So why don't we say Tongolese?
Or Mongolese.
No, Mongoloid.
No. That's different.
Oh, you're right.
That's, that's
No, I know.
the thing with the...
Like the Wheeler boy.
Right, the one who...
Bags of groceries.
Right.
But it's nice, isn't it, in a way, to know we all have our place.
There but the grace of God.
Exactly.
Ulan Bator.
What?
Ulan Bator.
What are you doing?
Ulan,
Tell me what you're doing.
the capital of Mongolia.
Well, why would I know that?
National Geographic.
Oh, did you change the address like I asked you?
What do you mean?
For the National Geographic.
The address?
Oh, Russ,
Me?
I asked you.
You did.
I asked you 15 times.
When?
I said, don't forget the change of address for the magazine, and you promised me that you would. You promised me specifically that
I did it last week.
that you would see. Okay, so,
Plenty like.
I see.
Oh, Russ!
Maybe people don't like having their leg pulled.
that was... Okay.
And are you going to bring that trunk down from upstairs?
Yeah.
What you said after lunch.
It's sort of a two-person job.
And you really want to wear those clothes all day?
I hadn't really thought about it.
But, you are a funny person. I was telling Francine, I ran to Barbara Buckley at Lewis and Coker's, and Barbara said that Newland told her a funny joke that you told at Rotary last year.
That I told.
About a man with a talking dog.
No, you're thinking of Don Lasseter.
No, it was you.
Don's the one with the jokes.
You know jokes. You tell jokes.
A talking dog?
And Barbara said, does Russ not go to Rotary anymore? Apparently they all keep saying, where's Russ? Not that I care one way or the other, but it does seem that you used to enjoy going, and I don't see why that, of all things, should have to change. And please don't say, what's the point, Russ? I hate it when you say that, because for that matter,
I wasn't going to say what's...
of anything enjoyable, really.
Phone rings. Francine enters.
Why not just sit in a chair all day and wait for the end of the world? But I don't intend to live the remainder of my life like that, and I think you could take notice of the fact that talking that way frightens me.
Answering the phone.
Stoller residence.
Not trying to frighten you.
Who may I say is calling, please?
Ulan Bator.
Excuse me, Miss Stoller.
Who is it?
Mr. Linder wanting to talk to you.
Oh, for the love of...
Tell him I'll call him back.
Not one thing, it's another.
I
Mr.
only
Linder,
need
she wonders if you can call her back. Or she
Well,
can call you back.
Well, what's the nature of the concern?
And I don't see the point of spurning their good intentions.
Oh, I was just reading a magazine.
Says he's calling from a payphone.
Just say we're preoccupied.
No, I'll take it. Thank you, Francine. I'm just repeating what Barbara said. Hello?
Barely know the woman.
No. It's just, we're in a state of disarray, Karl.
Somehow I spurned her.
As Francine returns to the kitchen, the front door opens and Jim sticks his head in. He is a youthful minister, wears a clerical collar under his jacket.
Ding dong.
Oh. Hey, Bev.
May one intrude? He politely asked.
Jim's at the door.
Oh, come in. Karl, I can't hear what you're saying.
Russ, my friend, I'm crossing the threshold.
Here, Jim.
Holy Toledo. Jiminy Christmas.
Bev's on the phone.
Hate to be the one to break it to you, buddy, but somebody made off with your stuff.
Kind of discombobulated.
Oh, Karl, I don't think so. Not today.
It's not the big day, is it?
No. Monday.
No, it's just Russ is a little under the weather.
Piece of advice. Watch out when you start lifting things. Learned that the hard way last month.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Judy says, Jim, gotta have me this spinet piano, a task which naturally falls to me.
Well, if it's not absolutely necessary.
And there I am with this thing halfway up the front steps, and me underneath, and of course, it's not the weight, it's the angle.
All right, Karl.
Which is why they tell you to bend the knees.
Well, will you look at what the cat dragged in?
What was that about?
Bev, I'm trying to bestow the pearls of my wisdom upon this man.
No, I was listening.
Oh, isn't it just a jumble in here, all of this?
That's what I was saying to Russ. I said somebody cleaned you out.
He's not coming here, is he?
Oh, I don't know. Karl.
Karl Linder?
Bev.
Oh my gosh. You got to look at Betsy lately?
Oh, I know.
Give that girl a wide berth.
Jim, can I get you some tea?
Maybe call him back and ask him to come later.
It was a payphone. Oh, I know. Now, wait. Now, Jim, I am going to ask you a question.
Hey-oh.
And don't help him. Now, I want you to tell Russ what you think the word Neapolitan means.
She thought.
You're not allowed to say.
Well, that'd be your basic vanilla strawberry.
No. The derivation.
I told her what I
think it's Naples, isn't it?
Oh, phooey.
Or Napoli, as we like to say.
Francine enters.
You two are cheating. And then, well, Russ is in a funny mood. He keeps going, Ulan Bator.
What's that? Capital of Nepal?
Mongolia.
So then, what's the Nepalese? Do you say Nepalese?
I hope it's not Neapolitan.
Kathmandu. Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I don't even know why you two know these things.
Miss Dollar?
Knowledge is power, Bev.
Then I choose to remain powerless. Do it again.
Do what?
How you said it.
No.
Do it, Russ.
No.
Do it for Jim.
Bev?
Why not?
Sorry, Jim.
Why for me, but not for him?
Well, for one thing, because it's not funny.
Excuse me, I'm fixing to go, so if you need something else.
Oh, yes, one thing. Francine, you remember that big trunk that's upstairs?
No, Bev.
He doesn't mind.
Just told you I'm doing it.
You said it's a two-person job, and here's two of you right here.
What's the emergency?
I would offer my services.
No.
But I'm under doctor's orders, believe it or not.
Well, I'm just needing to leave by 3:30.
All right.
Francine, I am going to move the gall darn trunk.
Yes, sir.
That's what I get for trying.
Francine exits, discomfort.
So.
Did you get any lunch, Jim? Do you want some?
Oh, no.
Since I guess we're cleaning out the larder, and Russ seems to be eating every last thing in the ice box, so you'll have to fight him for the ice cream.
Not for me.
Well, you can't pack ice cream in a suitcase.
In a suitcase? Did you hear what he just said?
Man's got a point.
Oh, how do you think of those things? Ice cream in a suitcase?
Not unless you're moving to the North Pole.
My goodness, we're not moving south.
That'd be a mess. No question.
Well, I'm going to see what we do have.
Bev exits into the kitchen, leaving Russ and Jim alone. A beat. Then,
What are you, coming down with something?
Who?
Bev said under the weather.
Me.
And here you sit in your PJs.
No. I took the day that truck's coming, so
I gotcha.
a couple days off.
Playing hooky.
No.
Bev's your alibi.
Just giving her a hand with stuff.
And you're hard at work, as I see.
No, I just...
I'm kidding you.
I know. Yep.
I would come to your aid there, only I'm dealing with a little issue.
Yeah?
Piano I told you about?
Right.
Did you ever need a truss? Have to wear one of those things?
Don't recall.
Oh, you'd recall if you did.
Then guess not then.
And you are a fortunate man.
No, I hear you.
Bend the knees or suffer the consequences.
Yeah.
So, Monday you said?
Yeah.
Off to the hinterlands?
Monday it is.
Jim, was that a yes or a no on the iced tea?
I would say not to that.
Russ?
Russ shakes his head.
I believe Russ is declining your gracious offer.
I thought as much.
Monday.
Indeed.
Head him up, move him out.
Yeah.
And when you start that Glen Meadows office.
The Monday after.
How about that?
Yeah.
And how's that shaping up?
That's a nice setup.
I betcha.
Oh, it's spacious. That's the thing. Carpeted. I mean, and I got to look at the office they're putting me in. I tell you what, I thought to myself, what the heck do you do with all this space? Corner office. Windows, two sides, but the space is primary. It's just it's an extravagant amount of space.
Elbow room.
Other thing is, once we're situated up in the new place, the time it takes, driveway to the parking lot. You know what that's going to take me?
5 minutes.
6.5.
Close enough.
I timed it door to door.
Roll out of bed and boom.
Tom Perricone. I don't know if you know Tom. He's a colleague of mine. Now, he's going to relocate to the same office, and they live right down here off of Larrabee. You know what that's going to take him on the expressway?
That's a drive.
35 minutes, and that's no traffic.
Well, Judy and I are sure going to miss having you two around.
Oh. Yeah.
And how's Bev doing?
You know, Bev loves a project.
Keep her occupied.
The mind occupied.
What? Does she worry a lot?
No. Just no more than...
About you?
Hey, no.
They seem good to me.
I mean, you know how she gets.
Sure.
Overexcited.
I can see that.
Worked up over, things, minor things.
Things like
No,
not calling yourself a minor thing, are you?
No, I didn't. I meant things like...
Do you consider yourself a minor thing?
Jim, I didn't... Well, actually, in the grand scheme of things, I don't know. Any of us is particularly... Did Bev ask you to come over?
No.
I mean, it's good to see you. Great to see you.
I mean, we ran into each other a couple of days ago. Got to talking. A little about you, since she cares about you.
All right. The heck's she doing in there?
Everybody cares about you, Russ.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'll tell you what I think. And I'm not a psychiatrist or anything, but I do think a lot of people today have these tendencies, the tendency to brood about stuff, which, if you ask me, is well, the short answer is not productive. And what I'd say to these people, were I to have a degree in psychiatry, I think my advice would be maybe get off your rear and do something.
Huh?
Be my solution. Of course. Yeah. What do I know?
I think you know plenty.
Hey, Bev!
I think you know your son was a good man, no matter what. Hero in this country. Nothing changes that. And I also think you know that sometimes talking about things that happen, painful things, and maybe...
You don't happen to have a degree in psychiatry either, do you, Jim? No? I'm just checking.
We all suffer, Not like you and Bev, maybe.
But see, what I'm doing here is, since I'm just minding my own business, it sort of seems to me that you might save yourself the effort worrying about things you don't need to concern yourself about. And furthermore, if you do keep going on about these things, Jim, well, I hate to have to put it this way, but what I think I might have to do is just to politely ask you to, well, go fuck yourself.
Not sure there's a polite way to ask that.
Russ rises to exit.
Okay. So?
I just can't believe Kenneth would have wanted his own father to...
Yeah. So you can go fuck yourself, okay?
Bev enters with Jim's iced tea.
So wait, if it's Napoli and Italian, then wouldn't adding an E before the A just seem superfluous? What's happening?
Bev, I believe I will hit the road.
What are you... Russ?
Going upstairs.
What happened?
Not to worry.
What did you do?
Another time.
Come back here.
No. Russ made his feelings clear. In no uncertain terms.
I'm going up now.
Terms may be more appropriate for the locker room than the...
I told you so. I told you what it's like, and he uses these ugly words in other people's presence, and I'm not some kind of matron, but what in the world is wrong with civility?
Honey, I'm not going to stand here with you and Jim and discuss private matters that are between me and the memory of my son.
I think...
And if you want to talk about Kenneth on your own time, if that gives you some sort of comfort.
And what's wrong with comfort? Are we not allowed any comfort anymore?
Well, Kenneth didn't get a whole lot of comfort, did he?
He was sick, Russ. And for you to use nasty words to Jim.
Nothing I haven't heard before.
I'm changing my shirt.
I was in the service too,
Oh, right. No, wait. And tell me again, how many people did you kill?
Oh, for God's sake, stop it.
He sat behind a desk, didn't you? Goddamn coward.
The doorbell rings. All stand in silence. Bev covers her mouth. At the front door, we can see Albert peer through a small window.
Hello?
And still no one moves.
Anybody home?
Jim crosses to open the door.
Afternoon.
How'd you do? I'm just here to...
Francine, Albert's here.
Yes, ma'am, I'm coming.
She's on her way.
Thank you, ma'am.
Jim does not know whether to invite Albert in or not. He turns to Bev. Russ turns and exits up the stairs. Bev turns back to Albert.
Albert, would you like to wait inside?
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
I bet it's warm out there, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yes, it is.
Can I offer you some iced tea?
No. Thank you, though.
Oh, I'm sure she'll be right along.
Thank you.
Albert sits near the door, but within earshot of Jim and Bev.
I think maybe it's time for me.
No, please don't. I just don't want to be alone with him right now. It makes me feel so alone.
You're not alone.
The way he sits up all night long. Last night he was just sitting there at 3 a.m.
I know. I do.
Don't you feel sleepy? Don't you want to take a Somonex or play some cards maybe? And he says, I don't see the point of it. As if there has to be some grand justification for every single thing that a person...
And now she notices Albert rise and heading for the door.
No, wait, yoo-hoo! Yoo-hoo.
It's all right. It's all right.
Something wrong?
No.
She said she's on her way.
Yeah, I can wait outside.
Francine!
I'm coming.
There she is.
Francine enters in street clothes with 2 large bags of hand-me-downs. She stops to put on her earrings.
I'm sorry, I guess I'm moving a little slower than usual.
And here's Albert waiting so patiently. If only I had door-to-door service like Francine.
So I'll see you on Monday then.
Albert, isn't this place just a catastrophe?
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh, I tell you, I don't know what I would do without a friend like Francine here. And on a Saturday, I mean, she's just a treasure. What on earth are we going to do up there without her?
Well, I trust y'all can sort things out.
Oh, and maybe Monday we can see about that big trunk. Why don't we?
We'll make sure and do that.
I'll do it by myself, but I'm not a big strapping man like Albert here.
Afraid I've got to exempt myself.
Oh, no. Francine and I can manage.
Well, what is it? A trunk, you said?
A Foot Locker.
Where's it at?
Oh, no. We just need to bring it down the stairs.
I don't mind.
Oh, thank you, but no.
But definitely Monday.
These stairs here?
Oh, no. I mean, it wouldn't take but 2 minutes.
I just got these things here to take care of.
I can put them in the car.
Oh, got yourself a car?
Yes, sir.
What's that, a Pontiac?
Yes, sir.
It's just that I'm afraid we're going to be late.
Late for what?
The place we gotta be.
The place?
Remember?
What are you?
I'm sorry.
Said 2 minutes is all.
Well, I've got my hands full.
I just said I can put them in the...
I can put them in the car. I can do that.
Did you get the chafing dish?
No, ma'am. Thank you, though.
Be right back.
Albert opens the door to reveal Karl, about to ring the bell.
Unexpected.
Hello, Karl.
Ma'am! Voila!
Excuse us, if you don't mind.
Not at all. After you, sir.
Karl makes way for Albert and Francine to pass.
What is the matter with you?
Jim, too. Hello, lad.
Karl?
Come on in, Karl.
Yes, could do that. However, you'll recall, Bev, that Betsy currently happens to be, how shall we say?
Oh, is it almost that time?
Point being that she did accompany me.
What do you mean she's in the car?
She is?
Oh, for heaven's sake, Karl, don't leave her out there in a hot car.
Well, that was my thinking.
Bring her in with you.
Will do.
Of all things.
Back in a flash.
As Karl exits, Russ descends the stairs in a clean shirt and shoes. Bev and Jim allow him to silently pass by them. He walks to the chair and collects the ice cream carton. As Russ is about to exit again,
You changed your shirt.
Russ continues into the kitchen without responding. A moment, then.
Bev.
I know I'm being silly. I know I am, but
Not at all. Not in the least.
just that after 2.5 years, you think that with time, because it's supposed to be the thing that helps, isn't it? A bit of time.
A great healer.
I thought with the new job and the move, I thought somehow he would start to let go of.
Russ returns from the kitchen. Bev goes silent. He goes to a door beneath the stairs, opens it, pulls a string to turn on a light, and exits.
Where are you going? The basement?
Yep.
Are you looking for something?
Yep.
The front door opens. Karl escorts his wife, Betsy, who is 8 months pregnant and who also happens to be totally deaf.
Here we are then.
Oh, there she is.
Hey, Bear.
Well, just look at you. My goodness, you are just the biggest thing.
I know. Etu, Sylvie.
Took the liberty of not ringing the bell.
Betsy, you know Jim.
Indeed she does.
Aji.
Jim shows off his sign language skills to Betsy, fingerspelling the last word.
Oh, well, now look at that. Look at them go. What is that about? Somebody translate.
God.
Uh-oh. What did I do? Did I misspell?
Betsy signs to Karl.
It seems, Jim, that you told Betsy that she was expecting a storm.
No, he meant stork. You meant stork, didn't you?
Anima umbrella.
Her umbrella. I understood that.
Have to check the weather report.
A storm. I'm going to tell that to Russ.
Must have rusty fingers.
Ka?
Jim says his fingers are rusty.
She understands.
Gee, maybe you need soup.
Soap for the rust on
I
your...
understood.
More polite laughing. Russ emerges from the basement carrying a large shovel.
And there's the man himself. Thought he absconded.
The Linders are here.
Era.
Betsy, you see my gloves anywhere?
Tunneling to China, are we?
Pair of work gloves?
Do you know, I just got through saying how Russ and I never entertain, and here it is a regular neighborhood social.
Well, we shan't be long.
Karl, do you suppose Betsy would like a glass of iced tea?
Bets, point to me.
Betsy, look at Karl.
Bev wants to know if you want some iced tea to drink.
Oh, yappy. Danube.
You know the gloves I'm talking about.
Well, Karl's here. I thought you were going to talk to Karl.
Francine and Albert have entered and started up the stairs.
What the heck is going on?
Nothing. Now, we two girls are going to the refreshment stand, so you boys will have to manage on your own.
Have no fear.
So how are you feeling, Betsy? Are you tired?
No, I'm fine. Very.
Betsy and Bev exit to the kitchen.
Now, Russ, Bev tells me you're indisposed, and normally I'd... not contagious, is it?
And what?
Hate for Betsy to come into contact with any...
Not contagious.
Can't be too careful, or possibly one can. Anyway, hate to commandeer your Saturday afternoon here, a man's home, as they say, but as we haven't seen your face at Rotary of late, I thought I might...
What's on your mind, Karl?
Intrude upon the sanctity of... What'd you say?
What's on your mind?
Well, firstly, may I sit?
Yeah.
Karl, I will be taking my leave.
Not on my account.
Parish business.
Well, truth to tell, Jim, we might actually benefit from your insight here. If it's not pressing.
Actually...
Not to usurp your authority, Russ. Your castle, you are the king.
What is on your mind?
Is this safe?
Anywhere.
No breakables? And Jim?
A minute or two.
Good. Good. So...
Bev opens the kitchen door.
Iced tea for you, Karl.
Problem being that I do have some sensitivity to the cold beverages, so my question would be, is the tea chilled? By which I mean, has it been in the Frigidaire?
No, Karl.
Then if I might have a serving minus the ice, that would suit me fine.
All right, Karl.
Bev closes the door.
Anyway, Russ, if you don't mind, I will proceed directly to, dare I say, the crux. So first and foremost, as far as matters of community are concerned, I've always maintained.
Bev and Betsy enter from the kitchen with glasses of iced tea.
All right, you boys.
What is something?
She's fine, Karl.
Is that tea she's drinking?
Yes, Karl.
Slow sips, small sips.
All right, Karl.
Betsy and Bev sit at the dining table away from the men. They begin to communicate via pad and pencil.
You were saying?
Tad overwrought, I suppose. What with Betsy's condition, but, well, given our history of 2 years ago, I don't know, Russ, if you knew the details of that.
That's yep.
And Jim, source of great comfort for us during all of that. It was the umbilical cord, nature of the problem.
I knew that.
Wrapped around. Exactly. So no one at fault, no one to blame, but these tragedies do come along, as you and Bev well know.
What are you hoping for, boy or girl?
No, touch wood, no tempting fate.
There you go.
Not to compare our little setback to what the two of you endured, but...
Something about a crux.
Right you are. Well, to backtrack, I take it, Russ, you're aware that the Community Association meets the first Tuesday of each month, and as I'm sure you know, Don Skinner is part of the steering committee, and somehow it came to Don's attention at this late juncture that Ted Driscoll had found a buyer for this house, and I have to say it did come as something of a shock when Don told us what sort of people they were.
What sort of people are they?
Well, I suppose I'm forced to consider the possibility that you actually don't know.
Don't know what?
Well, I mean, that they're colored.
Who are?
The family. It's a colored family. So I contacted the family.
Wait.
You're saying Ted never bothered to tell you?
We sort of gave Ted free rein on the whole...
I don't think you're right on this one, Karl.
Oh, but I am. I've spoken with the family.
Bev?
On the telephone?
Oh, no. As a matter of fact, Betsy and I have just come directly from Hamilton Park.
What is it?
Come here a sec.
Now, Russ, you know as well as I do that this is a progressive community.
What's he talking about?
If you take the case of Gelman's Grocery, that's a fine example of how we've all embraced a different way of thinking.
Now, slow down for a second. Bev, get Ted Driscoll on the phone.
What for?
Karl is claiming...
Russ, I have met personally with the family and...
What family?
He claims the family to whom Ted sold the house.
It's a colored family.
Sorry, don't we say Negro now?
I say Negro.
Well, it's only common courtesy, and
I say them interchangeably.
Not trying to tell you how to conduct your business.
And of course, I said Negro to them. No, I think we both know what you're doing.
And furthermore, I don't think Ted would pull a stunt like that.
Yes, we all admire Ted, but I don't think any of us would accuse him of putting the community's interests ahead of his own.
This is ridiculous.
And I don't think any of us have forgotten what happened with the family that moved onto Costner Avenue last year. Now, Costner Avenue is one thing, but Clybourne Street.
Wait. Karl, are you sure?
I was sitting with them not 2 hours ago.
But isn't it possible that they're, I don't know, Mediterranean or...
Yeah, they are 100%. And I don't know how much time any of you have spent in Hamilton Park, but Betsy was waiting in the car, and I can tell you there are some unsavory characters.
Karl?
But in the case of Gelman's, I think there was some mistrust at first, having been Kopechne's market for such a long time. But in the end of all, Murray Gelman found a way to fit in.
And they hired the Wheeler boy.
Is he the one with the,
He's the,
And fitting into a community is really what it all comes down to.
Very loud thump from upstairs.
What the heck is going on up there?
Now, some would say change is inevitable, and I can support that if it's a change for the better. But I'll tell you what I can't support, and that's disregarding the needs of the people who live in a community.
But don't they have needs too?
Don't who?
The family.
Which family?
The ones who
The purchasers.
I mean, in principle, don't we all deserve to, shouldn't we all have the opportunity to...
Well, Bev.
In principle, no question.
But you can't live in a principle, can you? Gotta live in a house.
And so do they.
Not in this house, they don't.
But here's the real question.
And what happened to love thy neighbor if we're being so principled?
They would become our neighbors.
And what about the neighbors you already have, Bev?
I care about them too.
Well, I'm afraid you can't have it both ways.
Okay.
Wait, why not?
Well, do the boundaries of the neighborhood extend indefinitely? Who shall we invite next? The Red Chinese?
Albert has tentatively come to the bottom of the stairs, jacket off.
But the key question is this.
No, why not have it both ways?
Darling, I came to talk to Russ.
Excuse me, ma'am?
Why not? If it would benefit someone.
But would they benefit?
If we could make them our neighbors.
But they won't be your neighbors, Bev. You're the ones moving away.
The question is, and it's one worth asking.
Sorry to bother you.
Okay. Now let's assume your information is correct.
Then suddenly, an enormous green army footlocker comes sliding down the stairs with a noisy thump-titty-thump-thump. Albert jumps out of the way.
Oh, for crying out loud!
Sorry,
What
sir.
the heck?
My
Albert,
fault.
I'm
That
sorry.
was me.
Darn it all!
All my doing.
Why are you shouting? Everything's fine. So
Well,
please
what
don't-
did I tell you?
we're trying to help.
I told you I would do it. You heard me, plain as day.
And I heard I.
Little mishap, is it?
A little trouble making the corner is all.
I'm sorry. It's heavy and I lost my grip.
Just leave the damn thing where it is.
May one be of
Leave
assistance?
it there.
So what?
Lend you a
should
hand
we
if I
do?
could, but-
Would you
Just
prefer
will you just leave it?
But it's blocking the way.
No, ma'am, I can step over.
It's all right. I got her.
Albert helps Francine climb over the box that now blocks the stairs.
Anyway, let's not drag this out ad infinitum.
Russ, fed up, rises and exits to the basement, slamming the door behind him.
Russ, don't.
1 second, if I might. Sorry, Francine, is it?
Yes, sir.
Francine, we've just been having a little conversation here, and I was wondering if maybe you could spare us a couple of minutes of your time.
But what good does that do? Go next door, talk to the Olsons, talk to those who stand to lose.
I want to pose a little hypothetical to you. What if we said this? Let's imagine you and your husband here. Let's say that the two of you had the opportunity to move from your current home into a different neighborhood. And let's say that neighborhood happened to be this one.
Well, I don't think that we would financially be able to.
For the sake of this argument, say you had the wherewithal. Would this be the sort of neighborhood you'd find an attractive place in which to live?
Oh, this is so silly.
It's a very nice neighborhood.
No, I'm asking, would the two of you, would your, I assume you have children?
3 children.
Oh, super. So with your children, might this be the sort of place, bearing in mind that they too would stand to be affected?
This is confusing things. It's confusing the issue.
It's a very lovely neighborhood, and
No, be honest. We want you to say.
I think what Jim is asking in his way.
He means living next to white folks.
Well, yes.
well,
Francine and I have, over the years, the two of us have shared so many wonderful. Remember that time the squirrel came through the window?
yes, I do.
That was just the silliest. Oh, the two of us were just hysterical, weren't we?
Think of it this way.
We still laugh about that.
I think that you'd agree, I'm assuming, that in the world there exist certain differences. Agreed.
What sort of differences?
That people live differently
Yes,
from one another.
I agree with that.
Different customs, different foods even. And those, here's the funny. My wife, Betsy. Now, Betsy's family happens to be Scandinavian, and on holidays, they eat a thing known as lutefisk. And this is a dish which I can tell you is not to my liking at all. It's, oh my goodness, let's just say it's gelatinous.
Karl,
What's that?
lutefisk.
What?
Karl, can you tell her?
In a moment.
I'll write it down.
So certain groups, they tend to eat certain things, am I right?
I've never had that dish.
But for example, if Mrs. Stoller here were to send you to shop at Gelman's, do you find when you're standing in the aisles at Gelman's, does it generally strike you as the kind of market where you could find the particular foods your family enjoys?
It's a very nice store.
What if we were to say this?
Mr. Gelman's a nice man.
Bev hands Betsy the pad of paper.
But I mean your preferred food items. Would such things even be available at Gelman's?
Do they carry collards and pig feet?
Francine shoots a look at Albert.
Because I sure couldn't shop nowhere that didn't sell no pig feet.
Pause. All stare at Albert.
Well, I think Albert's being humorous here, but
Oh, Luffy! I like Luffy.
I will say this.
I like spaghetti and meatballs.
Karl quiets Betsy.
You do find differences in modes of worship. If you take First Presbyterian, now, that's a church down in Hamilton Park, and I've taken fellowship there, and I can tell you the differences are notable.
Jim?
Not a value judgment, apples and oranges, just as how we have our organs here at St. Thomas for accompaniment, whereas First Presbyterian, they prefer a piano and occasionally, well, tambourines.
What's wrong with tambourines?
Nothing wrong.
I like tambourines.
I like tambourines as much as the next person.
Russ returns from the basement carrying his work gloves. He is calmer.
Well, let me ask this, excuse me. Francine, was it?
Yes, sir.
Francine, may I ask, do you ski?
Do I
Or your husband, either of you?
ski?
Downhill skiing.
We don't ski, no.
And this is my point! The children who attend St. Stanislas, once a year we take the middle schoolers up to Indian Head Mountain, and I can tell you, in all the time I've been there, I have not once seen a colored family in on those slopes. Now, what accounts for that? Certainly not any deficit in ability. So what I have to conclude is that for some reason, there is just something about the pastime of skiing that doesn't appeal to the Negro community. And feel free to prove me wrong. But you'll have to show me where to find the skiing Negroes.
Karl!
Can we all modulate our voices?
It's sold, Karl. The house is sold.
I understand that.
The ink is dry.
And we all understand your reasons, and no one holds that against you.
The truck's coming on Monday.
Fully aware.
And that's all there is to that.
However, there is one possibility.
Nope. Nope.
If you'll hear me out.
Don't see the point.
Because we went ahead and made a counter offer to these people.
Who did?
The Community Association.
An offer on this house?
Very reasonable offer.
But we just bought it, Karl.
As opposed to the amount for which you offered the property, Russ, which was far below the assessor's value.
Well, we are entitled to give it away if that is our prerogative.
For this type of residence, all of which is neither here nor there since the family rejected our offer. However,
why are we even talking about this?
Don has pointed out to me that as the seller of the property, you do have a 60-day option to place it in receivership with the transacting bank to indemnify yourself against liability. Now, that's generally with commercial properties, but in this instance...
No.
I think that inasmuch as Ted deceived you about the buyers, that the bank could still halt the sale, and it would be a simple...
Karl!
...matter of a signature, if I could finish.
Prefer if you didn't.
Huh?
And for all we know, this family could be perfectly lovely.
Well, that's hardly the point, is it?
Maybe it's a point to consider.
Bev, I'm not here to solve society's problems. I'm simply telling you what will happen, and it will happen as follows. First, one family will leave, then another, and another. And each time they do, the values of these properties will decline. And once that process begins, once you break that egg, Bev, all the king's horses, etc.
Karl!
And some of us, you see, those who don't have the opportunity to simply pick up and move at the drop of a hat, then those folks are left holding the bag, and it's a fairly worthless bag at that point.
I don't like the tone of this taking.
Okay.
This is taking.
I'll tell you what.
And let's imagine if the tables were turned. Suppose a number of white families started marching into their community. Well, actually, that might be to their advantage, but...
Karl!
Did you see my point?
Need you to stop now.
Sorry. Maybe not handled with
It's all right.
utmost delicacy.
But maybe time to let it drop.
Didn't mean to turn it into a public referendum. But you do understand.
No. That's it. You hear me? Done. All done.
Pause. In the near distance, a church bell begins to ring.
Is it 4 o'clock?
Well, Russ, if I might.
No.
If I could just say this.
No, Karl.
Well, if you'd let me.
No more.
Bev, I get the impression your husband is telling me I'm not permitted to speak.
Don't think it's a good idea.
Well, Russ, I'm going to ask you to at least keep an open...
Karl! What did I just ask you?
Well, I think you're being a tad unreasonable.
Well, I think we've reached the end of this particular discussion.
Is that right?
Afraid it is.
Just like that?
Just like that.
Then what about this?
Karl!
Well, I believe the Constitution endows me with a right to speak.
Well, then you can go and do what it is in your own home.
Bev, he's not being serious, is he?
Karl?
Am I being silenced?
Not gonna ask you again.
Well, this is a new experience for me.
So be it.
Bit like the Soviet Union. I am truly surprised.
Well, surprise.
And a little disappointed.
Sorry to disappoint you.
A real shame for all concerned.
Well, that's the way things go sometimes.
Apparently so.
Anyways, appreciate you stopping by.
I see.
Betsy, too.
Very well.
Okay, then. Okay?
Silence. Karl stands and moves towards Betsy. They slowly exit through the open door.
Karl, what happened?
Miss Dollar, if we're done talking here.
Yes. I think I will take this opportunity.
But Karl immediately returns, Betsy following.
However,
Karl, don't.
I don't imagine that this particular family are entirely aware of why they found such an agreeable price for the property. Don't suppose they know that aspect of it, do they? And let's say someone was to inform them of those facts. Let's say that was to happen. Because I think that might be an interesting conversation to have.
So I'll be seeing you on Monday.
Well, Karl, you go ahead and do what you think is right, but I will tell you one thing. What you're going to do right now is you are going to take yourself right through that door and out to this house. Man, what a son of a bitch!
Russ, don't.
Man, what? If you honestly think I give a rat's ass about the goddamn... What do you mean, this community, where every time I go for a haircut, where they all sit and stare like the goddamn Grim Reaper walked into the barbershop, that community? Where Bev goes to Gelman's for a quart of milk, and then they look at her, and she's got the goddamn plague? That's the community I'm supposed to be looking out for?
Community with soon-to-be children.
The Apostle Matthew.
Oh, no. I am talking now.
I'm ashamed of every one of us.
Betsy, wait in the car.
Well, you go right ahead and you tell those folks whatever you want, Karl. And while you're at it, why don't you tell them about everything the community did for my son? I mean, Jesus Christ. Murray Gentleman even goes and hires a goddamn retarded kid. But my boy, sorry, No work for you, Bob.
People were frightened, Russ.
Of what? That he was going to snap? Gonna go and kill another bunch of people? Send him off to defend this goddamn country. He does like he's told, only to find out the kind of sons of bitches he's defending.
Did not do the things they claimed he did. Never.
Jesus Christ! Of course he did, Bev! He confessed to what he did! Sit around all day with your heads in the sand. It doesn't change the fact of what he did!
Not to innocent people in that country, and not to women or children. I mean, maybe he lost his temper in...
Oh, for Christ's sake! What do you think happens in a goddamn war? They told him to secure the territory, not go knocking down on the doors asking permission. And if he was man enough to admit what he did, maybe you ought to have the decency to do the same damn thing.
You remember, Francine remembers what he was like.
Russ makes a sound of disgust and goes to the footlocker. Under the following, he unlocks and opens the lid.
He loved to read and think. That's just the kind of boy he was, wasn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
And the drawings, the most realistic drawings. I think a lot of people didn't realize that.
It was never my intention to stir up.
No. I think maybe it was.
The acrimonious feelings, but there is a situation which...
Well, maybe if you had known my son a little better, if anyone had taken the time, the way that Francine took the time.
Russ has produced an envelope from the footlocker. He steps forward, removing the letter on yellow legal paper.
Oh, read a little something, shall we?
What are you...
Dear Mom and Dad.
Stop it.
I know you'll probably blame yourself.
Russ, stop it!
I think you're
Russ,
unstable,
don't.
Russ. I really do.
You see what it's like, you see? Well, I refuse to live this way any longer.
She goes into the bathroom and slams the door behind her.
Mom and Dad.
Russ,
I know you'll probably blame yourself for what I've done.
need you to calm down.
And you can go fuck yourself.
Well, that is over the line, mister. That is not language I will tolerate in front of my wife.
She's deaf, girl! Completely! Hello, Betsy! Go fuck yourself!
Betsy smiles, waves back.
So, here's what I'm gonna do for you, Karl. Make you 10 copies of this, and you can hand them out at the Rotary, or better yet, put it in the newsletter. Rotary News. Kid comes back from Korea, goes upstairs, and wraps an extension cord around his neck. Talk that over at lunch buffet next week.
Car.
And Francine walking in at 9 in the morning to find him there. Be my guest, Karl. You go ahead and tell these people what kind of house they're moving into and see if that stops them, because I'll tell you what, I don't give a shit. If 100 you Bangay tribesmen with a bone through their nose overrun this goddamn place, because I'm through with all of you. You motherfucking sons of bitches, every one of you.
All stand in silence. We can hear Bev crying from behind the bathroom door. Russ slowly folds the letter. Finally,
Maybe we should bow our heads for a second.
Maybe I should punch you in the face.
Russ moves toward Jim, who, in backing away, inadvertently tumbles backwards over a box, toppling a floor lamp as he goes.
Easy now.
How? What happened?
Whoa.
Stay out of it. Just stay out of it.
Betsy runs out of the front door. Albert puts his hand on Russ's shoulder.
Hang on, man. Let's be civilized now.
No. Don't you touch me.
Whoa.
Putting your hands on me? No, sir. Not in my house, you don't.
I'm all right.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Who are you talking to?
Who do you think?
Very manly, Russ, threatening a minister.
Why are you talking to
Very
me
masculine.
I think they are all a bunch of idiots. And who's the biggest idiot of all to let yourself get dragged into the middle of it? What you gonna do? Big peacemaker, come to save the day?
Karl and Jim exit out the front door.
Mentally unstable, Russ.
Let them knock each other's brains out for all I care. I'm done working for these people 2 days from now, and you never worked for them at all. So what the hell do you care what they do? And now I'm going to go into the goddamn car.
Francine exits. During their marital squabble, Russ has returned the letter to the footlocker and slammed the lid. He now drags it out of the room and into the kitchen. Albert is left alone in the middle of the room. He stands idly for a moment, then moves to the right to right the overturned floor lamp. As he does, Bev enters from the bathroom, blowing her nose.
It's all right. Nothing broken.
Oh, no, mind that, but thank you so much.
No trouble.
Please let me offer you some money for your help.
Oh, no, ma'am. That's all right.
Oh, you sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, here then, let me at least give you 50 cents.
No, now you keep your money.
Or how about $1? Take $1. I don't care.
Ma'am?
Take 2. It's money.
Happy to help.
Take something. You have to take something.
No, ma'am.
What about this dish?
What?
Did you see this dish?
We got plenty of dishes in the house.
Not one of these. Francine told me.
Well, that's very kind of you, but
That you didn't have one, and somebody should take it. And
no, but we don't need it, ma'am.
And make use of it so that you just let me wrap it for you.
Ma'am, we don't want your things. Please, we got our own things.
Pause. Bev is shocked.
Well,
I'm just trying to explain to you.
well, that's the attitude, and I just don't know what to say anymore. I really don't, if that's what we're coming to.
Ma'am, everybody's sorry for your loss.
You know, I would be so proud, so honored to have you and Francine as our neighbors and the 2 children.
3 children.
3 children. Maybe we should learn what the other person eats. Maybe that would be the solution to some of the... If someday we could all sit down together at one big table and...
Evening, ma'am.
Albert goes. Bev is left alone. After a moment, Russ enters to fetch the shovel. He carries a pair of work gloves. Seeing Bev, he stops, unsure of what to say.
Where'd you find the gloves?
Under the sink.
Where are you going to dig the hole?
Under the... what's the big tree called?
The crepe myrtle.
Under that.
Kind of late now, isn't it?
To tomorrow.
He leans the shovel against the wall. Pause. He stands idly, apologetically.
Well, that's what happens, as we know.
He slowly moves to sit in the chair he sat in at the start of the act, then looks back at Bev.
What?
Way to the office. I timed it. Know how long that's going to take me now?
5 minutes?
6.5.
Well, you certainly have a leisurely breakfast.
Read the paper, a cup of coffee, and bang! 5:07. Right back at your doorstep.
What'll I do in between?
Well, gee, I guess whatever you, any number,
Thing.
I mean, projects
Project.
to keep you occupied.
I suppose you're right.
He turns on the transistor radio. Music. He looks back at Bev, who stares into space. Bev smiles vaguely. The lights slowly fade. End of Act 1.
Or is lava?
Act 2. September 2009, 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon. There is an overall shabbiness to the place that was not the case 50 years earlier. The wooden staircase railing has been replaced with a cheaper metal one. The oak mantelpiece and most of the woodwork have been painted over several times. The fireplace opening is bricked in. Linoleum covers large areas of the wooden floor, and plaster has crumbled from the lathe in places. The kitchen door is now missing, and we can see through to an exterior door. The front door stands propped open. Lights rise to find 6 people facing each other in a rough circle. To one side, Steve and Lindsey with Kathy, and to the other, Kevin and Lena with Tom, all dressed in generic casual clothes for a weekend afternoon. It is warm, and some have iced drinks. Lindsey is visibly pregnant. They sit upon improvised seating, crates, abandoned furniture, etc. Steve, Lindsey, and Kathy study photocopied documents while the others watch. Finally,
Everybody good?
I'm good.
Goodbye, me.
Go for it.
So I guess we should start right at the top.
Question,
And I know we all got questions.
the terminology.
So let's go one at a time. Steve.
The term frontage.
Right.
Frontage means
Where are we looking?
first page.
Frontage means, did you want to,
Means the portion facing the street
thus front?
Portion of the property.
of the structure.
Or portion of the structure.
The facade,
I'm not seeing it.
Second paragraph.
bottom of the page,
Where it says minimum recess of frontage.
meaning distance from.
Edge of the property.
Exactly. No, that's you, sorry.
Exactly.
Is what?
Is the recess.
Not the frontage.
The frontage is what you're measuring to.
Got it.
I'm confused.
And edge of the property means as measured from the curb.
Correct.
Not from the sidewalk?
From the curb.
I'll check, but I don't think that's right.
Up to and including.
But the sidewalk falls under the easement.
Right?
Nope.
So if it's part of the easement, then it can't be part of the property per se.
By definition, the property is inclusive of the easement. The easement is legal passage across the property.
I don't think you're right.
So my understanding has always been that the easement...
Sorry, but does any of that really matter?
It might.
I mean, I don't see how any of that really
The language?
impacts the outcome of the specific problem that
But I don't want to get in a situation where we thought we found a solution only to have it turned out we're screwed because of the language.
Wait,
The language is clear to me.
and who's being screwed?
No.
No one's screwing
I didn't
any.
mean like screwed over. I meant like maybe we screwed ourselves.
how does that address the height issue?
The elevation.
But if the elevation is conditional on the perimeter, right?
That's the idea.
If I'm reading correctly.
But the perimeter isn't changing.
But we're saying if it could.
But we're establishing that it can't.
But let's say it did.
But I'm saying it won't.
But I'm saying what if?
But I'm saying, what did we discuss?
Kathy's cell phone rings.
Okay, but you have to say it like that?
Like what?
In that way?
What way?
It's Hector. I'd better...
Sorry.
Did I say something in a way?
Not that I noticed.
Hi, Hector.
The architect.
Who really ought to be here?
No, we're doing it now. No, we're at the house.
Well, if you'd rather wait and do this when he can be.
No.
Well, I think we both know what's going to happen.
I
He's
don't
going to go completely ballistic. I'm just telling you what to expect.
Right? Not the other way around.
No, we're here with... Tom, I forgot your last name.
Driscoll.
Driscoll. So Tom Driscoll and the people from the neighborhood thing, property owners thing.
Can I just say I am in love with this neighborhood.
Great neighborhood.
Totally great.
Well, that's what we're trying to prevent.
And the thing for me is my current commute, which is slowly eroding my soul.
How far are you coming from?
Glen Meadows?
Ooh.
Exactly. And if you work downtown?
We're downtown.
Donnelly in favor?
On Jackson, right? Donnelly and...
Yeah, Jackson east of...
Yeah. I'm across the street.
Where?
You know the big red building?
I eat lunch in that building.
Capital Equities?
You're kidding me.
I kid you not.
And from here to downtown is like, what, 5 minutes?
You ever meet Kyle Hendrickson?
I work with Kyle Hendrickson.
No, but I do think you're being a little paranoid because we're not going to let that happen.
Let me talk to him.
I'm not going to let that happen.
Kathy.
Wait, Lindsey wants to.
Let me do it. Hector.
I'm obviously not equipped to deal with.
I thought you were in Seattle.
What's the problem?
Tell you later.
No. Kathy's here. Kathy's not going to let that.
Spaniards.
2 seconds.
Lindsey exits out the front door. Pause. The others wait.
Spaniards?
Architect, you know.
Spanish.
Temperamental.
Toro.
Exactly.
Seemed cool to me.
You talk to him?
On the phone, yeah.
He's a good guy.
We were in Spain last year.
Is that right?
Me, my husband, Spain, Morocco.
I just meant with all the paperwork and everything, and then we had him into the mix.
I hear you.
Cooler heads, you know.
Prevail.
Right.
Spain's fantastic. We did 4 days in Barcelona, saw what's it called, the cathedral, the big crazy...
Sagrada Familia.
That, which I loved. Likewise, the food, which I would happily eat every day for the rest of my life.
Paella.
Then Morocco to Marrakesh, which I don't know how you feel about heat, but oh my God, and they keep giving you hot tea, like, oh, how refreshing. And some theory about how you're supposed to sweat in order to feel cool, which you'll have to explain to me sometime.
Hot in here.
Very hot.
And to top it off, I don't want to bore you with the whole ugly saga, but when they tell you not to eat the produce, take heed.
Like Mexico.
Because if you ever need to know where to find a doctor at 2 a.m. in the capital of Morocco when your husband is doubled over with dysentery,
Whoa.
give me a call.
Said 2 seconds.
Wow. Went to Prague last April.
Oh, I love Prague. Prague is beautiful.
Very pretty.
Architecture.
That bridge.
It's small. It's what's nice. So you can do it all in a couple of days.
And then from there to Zurich.
Never been to Switzerland. But I like the cheese.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, but I was hoping I could say something to everyone, if you don't mind. As long as we're stopped.
No, do by all means.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, please.
All right, well, I just feel like it's very important for me to express, before we start getting into details.
Sorry, but maybe we should wait for Lindsey, don't you think? If it's something important. Otherwise...
Do you mind?
Wind up repeating yourself.
Is that okay with you?
It's fine with me.
But hold that thought.
I will.
Meanwhile,
maybe we should look at page 3.
Maybe we should.
Catch her up when if that's cool with you guys.
cool with me?
Good.
Let's do it.
Just because I got to be out of here by like 4.
Forge ahead.
Page 3.
Middle of 3.
Section 2.
Roman numeral 2.
Rabat, by the way.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
Couldn't hear you.
The capital?
Of what?
Morocco. She said Marrakesh.
It is the capital.
No.
I'd have said Marrakesh.
Rabat.
I don't think you're right.
No, it is.
Possibly.
Definitely. Anyway.
Oh, wait. Is it Tangiers?
Nope.
Why am I thinking Tangiers?
Dunno.
Maybe we just landed in Oh, no, wait, we didn't. No.
It's the capital.
I know what it is. Tangiers was the old capital.
No?
Historic capital.
So sorry.
Is everything all right?
It's fine. He said he was going to be in Seattle, so we went ahead and scheduled this without him, and now he's feeling a little proprietary. Anyway, blah, blah.
So we skipped ahead.
Great.
Page 3.
Middle of 3.
And since I think we'd all basically agree that...
Sorry. What's the capital of Morocco?
What?
The capital.
What are you talking about?
Of Morocco.
Why?
Quit, just...
I have no idea.
Yes, you do.
I said Marrakesh.
No, let her...
Marrakesh, yeah.
No, Rabat.
Whatever.
Trying to figure out what it was.
Why?
She said she went to the capital of Morocco.
So?
And it's not the capital.
Maybe they changed it.
Who?
The Moroccans?
To what?
Whatever it is now.
Which is Rabat.
Okay.
So...
Oh, wait. You know what it is? It's Timbuktu.
No!
The old capital, the historic. That's why because it was part of our package.
Timbuktu is in Mali.
But the ancient capital.
Yeah, of Mali.
I thought Mali was in the Pacific. Where they do the shadow puppets.
Are you talking about Bali?
Same difference.
No, the difference.
Who gives a shit? Anyway.
Dan has entered through the kitchen door. Work clothes, mustache, chewing gum. He lingers at a distance.
Is that they happen to be 3
Sorry, I don't
whatever you want it to be, okay?
And could you possibly not talk to me like a child?
Excuse me. I was hoping to say something if I could.
Right. Sorry. Lena had wanted to mention something, and it sounded kind of important, so we thought that we would wait.
But you don't gotta ask permission.
I'm just trying to be polite.
We are totally rude.
No, you're not.
It's my family, Irish Catholic, you know. Blarney.
Please. My husband, half Jewish, half Italian.
Is that right?
Get a word in edgewise?
I believe that.
Anyway, Lena.
Thank you.
Wait, Lena, right?
Lena.
Short for Leonora?
No.
I knew a Leonora.
It was my aunt's name.
Anyway, Lena, Kevin. Kathy, Lindsey, Steve.
And Tom.
Forget Tom.
Tom, we know. So.
Ding dong.
Hey.
Hey.
How's it going?
Is there Steve anywhere?
Yeah.
You Steve?
Yeah.
Hector said that if there's a problem, talk to Steve.
That's me.
Oh, hey, no.
Hey, good.
Fine, thank you.
Doing all right.
Quick question.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we're digging that trench back there, you know?
Yeah.
Out and back.
Yeah.
For the conduit line?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because before you hook up that line, you got to bury the conduit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and so in order to dig the trench, we got to take out that tree, right?
Right.
The dead tree back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the roots, they go down like maybe 8 feet.
Yeah.
Which is why we're taking out the tree.
Right.
Did you know that that thing is dead?
Hey, maybe we should... Sorry, you guys go ahead and...
Well, so...
No. It's just 2 things at once.
We can wait.
No. You guys keep... you want to show me?
Yeah, Ilana, let me show you.
Let me take a look.
Show you what you're dealing with here.
Dan and Steve exit out the back door.
I tell you one thing, though. It is hot out here.
Lena fans herself. A little pause.
Now I don't remember where we were.
Page 3.
Right.
Middle of 3.
So, knowing as we do that the height continues to be the sticking point, and by the way, the reason the petition was drawn up this way in the first place. I mean, nobody wants to be inflexible, but the idea was to set some basic guidelines whereby if, say, the height of is the problem, like it is here, then the one option would be to reduce the total exterior volume, like your husband was saying. And that's the rationale behind the table at the bottom of the page. So what those figures mean essentially is that with each additional foot of elevation beyond the maximum limit, there'd be a corresponding reduction in volume. And the numbers are based on the scale of the original structures, which is relatively consistent over the 12-block radius, and of which this house is a fairly typical example. Now.
Except we know they're not.
Not what?
Not consistent.
Saying relatively.
A lot of variables.
We know that.
The size of the lots, for starters.
Right, but...
Year of construction.
Right. So the hope was that by establishing a couple of regulations up front, hopefully we would avoid this kind of situation in the future, because obviously it's a pain in the ass for everybody. So, assuming the Landmarks Committee passes this part of the petition next week, a safe assumption.
And if the Landmarks Committee really wants to pick that fight with the zoning department, that is their business. But that's a matter of if and when.
Why is this confrontational?
Because somebody might have raised these issues when the plans went to the zoning department 5 months ago.
Kathy?
I mean, no one had any objection back then.
Can I say, we talked about renovation. We discussed it because these houses are so charming. And I know it's a shame, but when you figure the crack in the subfloor and the cost of the lead abatement, and in a market like this one, I mean, it just made sense to start from scratch.
Tom's cell phone rings. He tries to ignore it.
Right, but the owners associations has a vested interest. Kevin and Lena call me up last month. They say, Tom, we've got this problem. These people are planning to build a house, and that's a full 15 feet taller than the adjacent structure.
No. 15? Is that right?
I think we'd all agree that's a mutual benefit to maintaining the integrity, the architectural integrity.
You want to get that?
Of historical significant, god damn it, neighborhood. Yeah.
Steve returns as Tom talks, leaving the kitchen door open.
Yeah, okay, but don't call me with that in the middle of a Saturday. Well, then give it to Marla, because it's Marla's account. Well, where the fuck is Marla? Sorry.
Tom crosses the room to take the call.
What's happening?
I don't know.
You know, it might be a good idea if we all turned off our phones.
Excellent idea.
Problem solved?
Did what?
Out back.
Yeah, I don't know. They hit something.
What something?
I don't know.
Something dangerous?
I don't know.
Is it going to explode?
It's not. We're putting in a koi pond, and there's a filtration system that has to hook into the municipal. Anyway, they ran into some kind of whatever. So what's it, page 3?
But maybe wait for Tom?
Standing right there.
If we're getting into the legal stuff.
I agree.
Because I'm not a lawyer.
I'm not a lawyer.
But Kathy's a lawyer.
And he's the one with the time issue.
Well, as long as we're out by 4.
It's 3:30.
We'll be done by 4.
I'm sorry about this.
Crazy.
I'll turn vaguely to Tom, who gestures apologetically and mouths, sorry. Lena sighs, fans herself.
When's the baby due?
Oh, November.
In time for turkey.
I know.
Boy or girl?
No. I don't want to know. Ask Steve. Steve saw the ultrasound. La, 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 la.
Mouths the word boy, then touches Lindsey's knee.
La, la, la. Anyway, as long as it's healthy.
Knock wood.
Something tells me that it's a girl.
Pause. Feet tap. Kathy takes out her phone, dials a number, listens.
You guys have kids?
3.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How great for you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Kathy starts to check her messages. Feet. Then.
So, Kyle Hendrickson.
Kyle Hendrickson.
Kyle Hendrickson, who, may I add, kicked my ass in the 10th grade.
Who is this?
Wait. Little Kyle Hendrickson?
Like the one solitary black dude in my entire high school.
Kicked your ass.
Publicly kicked.
Kyle Hendrickson's like, what, 5'2"?
Wait, when?
5'5", JV wrestling team, 10th grade.
I think that might officially make you...
A pussy?
I think it might.
Who are you talking about?
Okay, remember I ran into a guy?
No.
Remember last week I said a guy from middle school?
No.
I was meeting you down to... Oh, and he told me the joke.
Right?
The joke I told you?
I don't remember.
The joke about... Well, neither do I at the moment, but it was a joke we both thought was funny.
Okay.
Anyway, that guy, that is Kyle Hendrickson, who he works with.
Glad we cleared that up.
Oh!
What?
Wait.
What?
Wait.
What?
The joke! It's about a guy, remember? A guy who goes to jail?
No.
The white-collar criminal goes to jail, remember? And they put him in a cell with,
Oh, no.
What?
Mm-mm.
What?
How old are your kids?
What's the matter?
9, 10, and 12.
Wow.
What's your problem?
Steve,
I was telling the joke.
later.
You said remind me what joke.
Okay.
But now I'm not allowed to tell it?
Can you just stop a second?
Anyway, 2 guys stuck in a jail cell.
Steven!
I'm sorry, and I don't mean to keep interrupting, but can somebody please explain to me what it is we're doing here?
Pause. Tom turns. All feel the chill coming from Lena.
Just send me the fucking document.
Kathy and Tom discreetly hang up their respective phones.
I mean, I know I'm not the only person who takes the situation seriously, and I don't like having to be this way, but I have been sitting here for the last 15 minutes waiting for a turn to speak.
I am so sorry. I
No
really
one's
am.
taking
I'm so
turns.
sorry.
No.
I thought
And meanwhile, it seems like nothing is even remotely getting accomplished.
I agree.
A truck horn outside sounds.
So go ahead and say what you were gonna say.
And could you
Yeah.
please not tell me when to do things?
I'm not telling.
They were having a conversation, and so I was waiting.
And now they stopped.
I try not to intrude
Just being friendly.
on other people's conversations when they're in the middle of them. I'm not trying to be unfriendly.
No, it's us.
No, it's not.
No, it is.
You're being friendly.
I'm being friendly.
She's being friendly.
I'm being friendly.
If anybody's not being friendly,
Well, maybe the friendly thing to do would be for us to respect each other's time. Would that be all right?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry,
Totally.
really.
Thank you.
So glad that
No, you
somebody
guys-
has the balls
my
to
fault.
finally
That
say
was
that.
me.
Anyway, nope.
Anyway.
Anyway, all right. Well, I have no way of knowing what sort of connection you have to the neighborhood where you grew up.
Horn again. Steve turns.
Just shut the door. Just shut the fucking door.
Steve jumps up to shut the kitchen door.
Sorry, the neighborhood where...
And some of our concerns have to do with a particular period in history and the things that people experienced here in this community during that period.
Steve returns to the circle and sits.
Sorry.
Both good and bad and on a personal level. I just have a lot of respect for people who went through those experiences and still managed to carve out a life for themselves and create a community despite a whole lot of obstacles.
As well you should.
Some of which still exist. That's just a part of my history and my parents' history, and honoring the connection to that history. And no one, myself included, likes having to dictate what you can or can't do with your own home. But there's just a lot of pride and a lot of memories in these houses. And for some of us, that connection still has value, if that makes sense to anyone.
Total sense.
For those of us who have remained,
Absolutely.
and respecting the memory, that has value too. At least that's what I believe, and that's what I've been waiting to say.
All nod solemnly for several seconds at Lena's noble speech.
Can I ask,
Can you let her finish?
sorry?
I was finished.
Sorry.
Right. So, so when you use the word value,
Historical value.
You read the petition.
yeah,
Spelled out pretty clearly.
right. But what I mean is, so you don't literally mean monetary value, right?
My great aunt
Or maybe you do.
was one of the first people of color. In a sense, she was a pioneer.
No, I understand, and correct me, but my understanding was that the value of these properties had gone up,
They have.
yours included,
That's true.
way up.
And we'd all like to keep it that way.
But you're not suggesting, are you, that when we build our house,
Look, for one, I am really grateful for what you said, but this is why we sometimes feel defensive, you know, because we love this neighborhood.
we do
We completely do. And we would never want to do anything to carelessly
run roughshod?
over anybody's, and I totally admit, I am the one who was resistant, especially with the schools and everything. But once I stopped seeing the neighborhood the way it used to be and could see what it is now and its potential.
Used to be what?
What do you mean?
What it used to be?
What you said about the history of,
Historically, the changing, you know, demographic.
although originally, it wasn't it German predominantly?
German and Irish.
Depending how far back you,
It's funny though, even though my father was German, but back when they were living here.
Wait, did I know this?
I told you that.
In this neighborhood?
He went to church at St. Stan's. Isn't that crazy?
Is that right?
This is the late 50s. My father was a Rotarian, but my mother, she was deaf. I told you that.
That I knew.
Oh, that's a shame.
Thank you. It was congenital. But then she got pregnant with me and they moved out to Rosemont. Anyway, her family, they were Swedish.
there was a great article 2 weeks ago, I don't know if you saw this, about the history of the changing ethnic
This distribution.
Oh, I should read that.
of the neighborhood and how in the 70s, 80s, how that was followed by a period of rapid
Decline.
No.
growth.
Not.
or growing.
No.
I mean, there was trouble.
Not trouble. She didn't mean trouble.
There was trouble.
Economic trouble.
Violence is trouble.
That's what I'm saying.
Drugs are trouble.
Exactly.
And the violence as an outgrowth of the criminalization of those drugs.
Because you know the two of us was both crackheads.
No, come on.
I know you're kidding.
Don't say that really, even as a joke. That's.
Nah, I'm kidding. I'm just messing with you.
He's being funny.
I know he was, and it was funny. But when people are systemically dehumanized, I mean, if you've been placed in some faceless institutional
Projects.
I mean, like it or not, that kind of environment is not conducive to
Yeah, that's true.
the formation of community.
Horrible.
Tough place to grow up.
With the effect on children.
On anyone.
And to take what has been not prosperous, but a solidly middle class
Enclave.
and then undermine the economic
Infrastructure.
by warehousing people inside of these.
But that's the thing, right? If you construct some artificial semblance of a community and then isolate people within that, I mean, what would be the definition of a ghetto, you know? A ghetto is a place
But who uses that word? I don't.
where people are sequestered, right? The definition, I'm saying.
Well, my family.
Like Prague, if you think of, okay, Prague had this ghetto, right? A Jewish ghetto.
We've been to Prague.
Oh my God, Prague is beautiful. I love.
Prague's crowded.
And the food sucks. Or is that just me?
But I'm saying it's not like one day all these Jews were sitting around Prague looking at the real estate section going, hey, here's an idea. Let's all go live in that ghetto, right?
A beat where they all avoid Steve's comment. Then.
When were you in Prague?
Last April.
First Prague, then Zurich.
I want to go back.
You ski?
Him?
You mean like downhill?
Oh, that I'd like to see.
Ever been to Switzerland?
I can ski. I have skied.
Oh, get that on video.
Why is that funny?
Sorry.
Seriously, what is it about the idea of me skiing that you find so highly
Anyway.
risible?
I just meant you like to golf, you go to Scotland. And if you like to ski...
I'm just trying to picture it.
Gratuitous.
Anyway...
Yeah,
John's
maybe
right.
we could try
Let's
to stick
get it
to the
together.
topic at hand.
Where were we?
Page 3.
Oh, you're kidding.
Nope.
How can we still be?
I don't know.
How is that possible?
And it is now 3:45.
And I'm sorry for taking time.
Oh, no, what you said was great.
I wasn't trying to romanticize.
You didn't,
Nothing romantic about being poor.
but it was your neighborhood.
Wait, what street?
Off of Larrabee.
My parents lived on Claremont.
Y'all would have been neighbors.
But I didn't mean to make it about my personal connection to the house. It's more about the principle.
But you can't live in a principle.
You had a personal connection
To the house?
to this house?
And
I don't want to. Let's not.
Lived here.
Wait, who?
Sort of beside the point, but yes.
Great aunt.
On my mother's side.
You don't mean here.
And this is 50 years ago.
Here in this house.
Quite some time, actually.
Oh,
No.
so wait, so
This exact house?
like you've been in this room?
I used to climb a tree in the backyard.
Oh my God.
Oh.
A crepe myrtle tree?
Well, that is just bizarre.
At any rate, her great aunt, and she had to save a long time to be able to afford a house like this.
She was a domestic worker.
Lindsey and Kathy make quiet expressions of sympathy.
And a house isn't cheap
Not here, anyway.
here at that time.
At that time, well, when I was growing up, I literally don't remember seeing a single white face in the neighborhood. Pretty much my entire...
Well, one, you said.
Who?
What's his name?
Mr. Wheeler?
Mr. Wheeler.
I don't think anybody knew his first name.
He was, what?
At the grocery store.
Bagged the groceries.
At supper. Well, back then it was Gelman's, but they tore down Gelman's.
And that became Super Saver.
Well, then they tore down Super Saver, so...
You know where the Whole Foods is?
Ha. And what happened to Mr. Wheeler?
Dead, probably.
He was, developmentally...
Ah,
That is so sad.
depressing.
I have a niece with Asperger's syndrome.
But given the makeup of the neighborhood at the time and the price of a home like this one, the question naturally arises as to whether it was the thing that happened here in this house, whether that in some way
Played a factor.
in making the place like this affordable for a person of her income.
The thing?
The sad,
I don't.
the tragic,
Thing that happened.
What thing?
Well, long time ago, but
In this house?
I'm just saying that since She was one of the very first people of color.
Wait. Something happened in the house
What, somebody died or?
It's not important.
that we should be concerned about? Or...
No.
Just that there'd been a family who had a son who'd been in the army.
Korea, maybe.
Yeah, and who, well, a few years after he came back from the war.
Killed himself.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Sad.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Which my great aunt didn't know at the time.
Oh my God. This is just...
Though I assumed that you did.
No.
That is just... That's... And they went ahead and just sold the house.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Without telling her that? Because nobody ever told us that.
Well, they wouldn't, would they?
50 years ago?
Okay, but legally? I mean, don't you have to tell people that?
Not if you want to sell it.
It was something like he'd come back from the army and he'd been accused of something.
Killing people.
Innocent people.
Killing civilians.
And then, himself.
But you don't mean like here in this very...
No, I mean, not where we're sitting.
Stairs, wasn't it?
I just...
Breathe.
Stop it.
I mean, the version I was told that he went upstairs.
Hanged himself.
Okay. No. I'm sorry, but that's wrong.
Where are you going?
Lindsey walks out of the room. Steve follows her from off we hear.
It's just... No, to sell somebody a house. A house, where?
What's the matter?
No, there should be a law. I don't care how, okay? I don't want to know how he did it or in what room because I'm sorry, but that is just something that, from a legal standpoint, you should have to tell people.
It's not.
Okay, well, it fucking well should be.
Hey.
And now I have this horrifying image in my head.
But why did you have to make such a big deal out of?
It is a big deal, Steve. If your child, if our family is going to live in a house where...
I mean, it's not like he's still hanging up there.
It is not funny, okay? It is not funny to me, so why are you acting like an asshole?
The kitchen door bangs open and Dan noisily enters.
Okay, so show you what you got.
He drags a large trunk, the footlocker we saw in Act 1, covered with mold and dirt, into the middle of the room.
So that's your problem right there. No, excuse me. And I tell you one thing. Yank this up from down there. Take a look at it. You know the first thing I'm thinking of myself? You know what I'm thinking? Buried treasure. Like Spanish doubloons or something. And I know you're thinking, Dan, you crazy bastard. But I tell you what, I know a guy.
Join the circle.
Excuse me, this guy last summer, he's taking out a septic tank. This house out in Mundelin. He's sitting on top of his backhoe. All of a sudden, clang. And this guy's not exactly the sharpest tool in the box, if you know what I mean. But he goes down there about 5-6 feet with a chain and winch. I swear to God, you know what he pulls out from down there? He stands back. He takes a look. Oh, are you in the mill, son?
Sorta.
No, my bad.
No.
I'm a bull in a china shop.
It's cool.
I just go to my wife.
Yeah?
And well, as couples others, not suitable for mixing. Anyway, just
Thanks.
I'll leave that here for you.
Thank you.
You need me to open it, you just let me know.
Great.
The problem, though, this puppy right here. Now, the deal is, I got a saw. I take a hacksaw. You could maybe saw it out, but what you really want is a pair of bolt cutters. And I don't think I got any bolt cutters, so.
Ah, well.
Because you never know. It turns out to be full of Spanish doubloons. Well, you have to split it 6 ways, huh?
Sorry.
Oh, that whoops.
I don't know your name.
Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Danny. Danny's good.
Great.
Daniel, but when my wife gets pissed.
But listen.
No. I got you.
If you wouldn't mind.
The middle of the thing, and I came barging right into.
Thank you.
But you got to find some bolt cutters, and you will be in business.
We will.
Hey, you know what? Hang on a second.
Dan heads to the back door, as he does.
So I'm just going to push ahead, if that's okay.
Ramirez!
Because we still got 17 pages to cover.
And I'm so sorry. I lost my shit. I did. I think we're both wound a little tight right now with the baby and the house and the money and everything.
Ramirez!
And to top it all off, we get sent this petition in the mail, and suddenly our entire lives are just thrown into chaos. And at the very same moment that I mean, the demolition was scheduled to start on Monday, and unless we get this resolved, which I want as much as anybody, then what do people expect?
Screw it.
Dan gives up and exits.
So a couple of options. One, as we said, is reducing the height.
No, Tom, I'm sorry, but you can't just call an architect at the 11th hour and snap your fingers and say, can you completely redesign an entire...
It's a little late in the day for that.
I'm sorry you're upset.
I'm not upset. I'm not.
May I remind everybody that these guys are under no obligation, legal or otherwise.
Okay, here's the wording from the city council, and I quote, "In recognition of the historic status of the Clybourne Park neighborhood and its distinctive collection of low-rise, single-family homes
Aren't we a
intended
single
to
family?
house a community of working-class families."
Okay, and the thing is, communities change.
They do.
That's just the reality.
It is.
And some change is inevitable, and we all support that. But it might be worth asking yourself who exactly is responsible for the changes.
Well,
I'm not sure exactly.
What are you trying to...
I'm asking you to think about the motivation behind the long-range political initiative to change the face of this neighborhood.
Wait, say that again?
What does that mean? Do you know
What?
I mean that this is a highly desirable area.
Well, we desire it.
I know you do.
Same as you.
And now the area is changing.
And for the better, right?
And I'm saying that there are certain economic interests that are not being served by those changes, and others that are not. That are being served and others that are not. That's all.
And which interests are being...
If you have a residential area in direct proximity to downtown,
Right.
and if that area is occupied by a particular group...
Which group?
You know what? We're talking about one house.
I understand that.
Which group?
A house for our family.
Which group?
That's how it happens.
In which to raise our child.
No. Which group?
It happens one house at a time.
Oh, whoa. Okay, stop right there.
Okay, what are you doing?
No, I'm sorry, but can't we just come out and say what it is we're actually... Shouldn't we maybe do that? Because if that's what this is really about, then... Jesus, maybe we ought to save ourselves some time and just say what it is we're really saying instead of doing this elaborate little dance around it.
Dead stop. I'll stare at Steve.
Never mind.
What dance?
I shouldn't have... Whatever.
So, you think I haven't been saying what I actually mean?
Not to my way of thinking, no.
Well, what is it that you think I'm saying?
Like we don't all know.
I don't.
Oh, yes, you do. Of course you do.
Well, maybe you ought to tell us what you think she was saying.
But it has to be me.
Well, you're the one who raised the question as to
Come on, it was blatant.
clarity of my speech.
What the fuck, Steve?
You know what? Forget I said it.
Oh,
You
No,
didn't
no, no,
say
no.
anything.
No.
So
corrected.
Okay. If you really want to, it's... It's race, isn't it? You're trying to tell me that implicit in what you said, that this entire conversation isn't at least partly informed. Am I right? By the issue of racism? And please,
are you out of your...
don't do that.
I am so sorry. I have no idea where this is coming from.
Well, the original issue was the inappropriately large house.
Now, come on.
You are planning to build, only now I'm fairly certain that I've been called a racist.
But I didn't say that, did I?
Sounded like you did.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you kind of did.
In what way did I say that?
Somebody said racism.
Sism! Sism! Not cyst.
Which must originate from somewhere.
And which we all find totally reprehensible.
So, are you the racist?
Can I just?
Is it your wife?
Don't look at me.
Look.
Because by a process of elimination...
Here's what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
I'm saying, was race not a factor?
I do not know this person.
Were there not these differences?
What? Differences? There's
He walks in here from the very beginning with all these issues.
About your house.
And I'm only asking whether, were we not, shall we say...
Okay, you're creating an issue where none exists.
Oh, you heard what she said. She as much as claimed that there's some kind of secret conspiracy.
Oh, it's not a secret.
There! Thank you! Now you see what I'm saying.
Don't be purposefully naive.
Seriously.
This has to be under discussion for this has been under discussion for at least 4 decades now.
You can't prove that.
At the highest institutional levels of, oh, don't act like you don't know it's true.
What, and now we're the evil invaders who are...
She never said that.
Appropriating your ancestral
homeland. No, I am sorry. This is the most asinine. Half of my friends are black.
What?
As it's true. For most normal people.
Name one.
Normal people tend to have many friends of a diverse and wide-ranging...
You can't name one.
Candace.
Name another.
I do not have to stand here compiling a list of all...
Specifically.
Teresa.
She works in your office. She's not your friend.
She was at the baby shower, Steve. I hope she's not my enemy.
Well, this is all fascinating.
Name another.
And while I'd love to sit here and review all of our American history, maybe we should concentrate on the plans for your property.
Yes.
Which had been the original topic
of conversation. The history of America is the history of private property.
That may be.
Read de Tocqueville.
Though I'd rather doubt your grandparents were sold as private property.
Oh my God. Look, humans are territorial, okay?
Who are you?
This is why we have wars. One group, one tribe tries to usurp some territory. And now you guys have this territory, right? And you don't like having it stolen away from you the way white people stole everything else from Black America. We get it, okay? And we apologize. But what good does it do if we perpetually fall into the same predictable little euphemistic tap dance around the topic?
You know how to tap dance?
See what he's doing.
Maybe quit while you're at it.
No, I'm sick of, no, every single word we say is scrutinized for some kind of latent. Meanwhile, you guys run around saying N-word this and N-word that and whatever. We all know why there's a double standard, but I can't even so much as repeat a fucking joke that the one black guy I know told me.
So tell the goddamn joke.
Not now.
If you feel so oppressed, either go ahead and tell it,
Do not.
Or maybe you could move on.
Thank you.
Well, I want to hear it.
No.
Oh, no.
Why not?
No, it's offensive.
Not
Of course it's offensive.
To me. Offensive to me.
That's the whole point of how does it offend you?
Because it is disgusting and juvenile and traffics and the worst possible type of obsolete bullshit stereotypes.
Well, now I gotta hear it.
While I'm in the room.
No, come on.
Well, she says it's so offensive, and I have no way of knowing if she's right. And if I don't ever hear it, how will I ever know?
You know what? I don't even remember it now.
2 men in jail, you said?
Oh, I know this one.
Wasn't that it? 2 men?
Okay, so look, it's not even my joke, okay? It was told to me by Kyle Hendrickson, who, for what it's worth, happens to be
black.
Right.
So the white man goes to jail.
I cannot believe that you actually... Fine.
Anyway.
Knock him dead.
Goes to jail for, embezzlement, something. Little white guy, and he's put in a jail cell with this,
With a black guy.
Big black guy.
And why big?
I am repeating verbatim
Why does it have to be big? What does that reveal about your subconscious?
Little white man.
Oh my God.
Big black man.
So they slam the cell door behind him, I guess. And the black guy turns to the white guy. Black guy goes, okay, I'm going to give you a choice. Well, you're in here with me. You can either be the mommy or you can be the daddy. And the white guy thinks for a second and he goes, I guess if it's up to me, then I guess I'd have to say I'd prefer to be the daddy. And the black guy goes, okay, well then bend over because mommy's gonna fuck you in the ass.
Long pause. No one laughs or smiles. They simply nod or shake their heads. Finally.
That's not the one I was thinking of.
So, is that offensive?
Are you insane?
To you? How is it offensive to you?
I don't think it's me you should be asking.
No, the problem with that joke, see, is that it's not funny.
No shit.
You laughed when I told it to you!
And had it been a funny joke...
It is funny. Yes, it is. And the reason it's funny is that it plays upon certain latent fears of white people vis-a-vis the...
Okay, I'd like to add I'm gay.
Nice. No, nice going, Steven. Nice work.
You really don't.
So I guess you think that sex between men is funny.
Oh, come on.
Just inherently funny?
And it's not even sex, it's rape.
So rape is funny.
No, yes, in the context of the joke.
My sister was raped.
I quit.
So it's offensive to me.
And me.
And him, and them. That's the point of a joke. To permit the expression, and what does it even mean, offended? I don't even know what it means.
How many white men does it take to change a light bulb?
Fine, tell me.
Okay, I'm about 2 minutes from leaving, and so
I'm asking you a favor.
How many white men does it take to change a light bulb?
All of them.
And why is that?
One to hold a light bulb, while the rest of them screw the entire world.
So, you think I'm offended? I can do this all day. What's long and hard on a black man?
How is this happening?
I don't know, Steve. What is long and hard on a black man?
First grade. Are you offended?
Nope.
Neither am I.
Okay, you can't be offended, you moron! Because you have never been politically marginalized, unlike the majority of the people in the world.
How can a majority be
By the way,
marginal?
all women, everywhere, and it's your classic white male myopia that you are just blind to that basic fact.
Why is a white woman like a tampon?
Why is what?
It's a joke.
No. No.
You told a joke now. I'm telling one. Why is a white woman? And please, don't baby me. You've got 3 babies at home.
Good night. I wash my hands.
If you need to pacify someone, so go ahead.
Can you repeat the setup?
Why?
Is a white woman right?
Like a tampon.
Steve looks around. No one else answers, so...
I don't know. Why?
Because they're both stuck-up cunts.
Pause. Again, no one laughs or smiles. Kevin shakes his head.
I find that funny.
Yeah, I hope you're not offended.
Oh, you are not.
And how does it always...
What happened?
All right,
we're not offended.
It was a joke.
Exactly!
An extremely hostile joke.
Directed at me.
And in what way am I stuck up exactly? I mean, you mean because I worked my ass off putting myself through law school? That makes me stuck up.
It's a joke about a tampon.
And maybe there's a difference between being stuck up and being intelligent.
You don't even know the fucking capital of Morocco!
Okay. Ha.
And you know something. If there's anyone here who's being marginalized by the tide of history, you don't exactly see me sitting in the White House, do you?
Thank the Lord.
But you don't see me wetting my pants and acting all offended.
You know, I think maybe I'm done.
No. You want to know what offends me? How about the neighborhood the two of us are living in right now? Bunch of white suburban assholes still driving around with the yellow ribbon magnets on their SUVs in support of some bullshit war. That's the kind of shit that offends me.
Why does that make them assholes?
What is what?
Said assholes have yellow ribbons on their SUV.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did. You said.
I said with the magnet, not, by virtue of.
So it's not the magnet makes you the asshole.
You have one on your car.
I have 3 of them.
3.
3.
3.
3.
1 for each member of my family serving overseas.
Great.
I have the pink one for breast cancer.
So maybe I'm a triple asshole. But
I think we know who the asshole is.
Wow.
Okay. Well, you are being an idiot. And in case you hadn't noticed, the rest of the world has begun a more sophisticated conversation about this topic than you are apparently qualified to participate in this incredible moment of history. I mean, I used to date a black guy, so what? I mean, seriously, Steve, wake up!
Same church bell that we heard in Act 1 begins to ring. Pause. Tom looks at his watch.
And it's now 4 o'clock.
When did you date a black guy?
So, final thoughts? Lena?
No.
Kev?
I'm good.
Anybody?
Very informative.
I just want to say this. I want to say that I feel angry. And I'm basically kind of hurt by the implication that's been made that it's because we want to live as your neighbors and raise a child alongside yours, that somehow in the process of doing that we've had our ethics called into question. Because that is hurtful.
No one has questioned your ethics at all.
Well, I wish I could believe that.
No, what we're questioning is your taste.
The others rise to leave.
Kathy, I will call you.
Well, that is insulting.
Thank you.
Tuesday at the latest.
What? What is wrong with our taste?
Kev?
Right behind you.
No. What is so egregious about the design of our house?
No. Let it go.
Lena exits.
Sweetie, I've got a thing, but I'll call you tomorrow.
And you guys got my number if you want to talk.
Yep.
Tom is gone with a thumbs up. Kathy follows close behind. At the same time, Dan enters from the kitchen carrying a pair of bolt cutters. The others ignore him.
So, good luck with your house, and maybe y'all can just come communicate with Tom from here on out. But anyway, y'all just enjoy the rest of your evening.
Kevin and Lena politely exit through the open front door. Steve and Lindsey stand silently for a moment, then holding out bolt cutters.
Wow.
Wow is right.
Amazing.
And for the record, that woman is a cunt.
And instantly, Kevin is back through the front door.
Wait a second. What did you say?
What?
No. I told you. Pressure, we're both under a huge amount of pressure, and yet, like an idiot, but could we all just maybe just step off?
You take the longest shower of my life.
To my face. And when you do, I will slap the taste out of your mouth.
Oh, good.
Oh, now you're going to stand up for me.
Don't you ever insult my wife. You hear me, bitch?
Oh, hey, let's be civilized.
No, and don't you touch me.
Whoa. That's cool, man.
Not again, not in this neighborhood.
That is all.
Or are you too busy trying to make friends with everybody?
Dan backs off and goes at the trunk with the bolt cutters as two simultaneous arguments unfold.
Okay. And why the fuck did you have to go and insult Kathy? We are paying her. I hope you realize.
Well, you know what? I agree with them. The house is
do not even.
Very first time we saw the plans, what did I tell you? I told you that like 15 times.
Well, Steven, you're free to live wherever you want, but the baby and I will live here if you ever feel like visiting.
Kevin and Lena exit. By this point, Dan has succeeded in opening the trunk.
Fine by me.
Do you have the keys?
I mean, God forbid my needs should ever come before the baby's.
Do you really want me to choose between you and the baby?
Oh, I'm secondary.
Because that's an easy one.
Correction, tertiary.
As Lindsey and Steve continue to argue, a bespectacled young man in a military uniform descends the stairs, unnoticed and oddly out of place. This is Kenneth, played by the actor who played Tom. He carries a yellow legal pad and a transistor radio. Oblivious to the scene around him, he takes a seat by a window near the front door. As Dan removes a yellowed envelope from the trunk, Lindsey and Steve prepare to leave as their bickering continues.
Or maybe you don't want the baby.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't know I had a choice.
Oh, you had a choice.
If only I'd known.
And you chose.
And what were the options again? Oh, that's right. A, let's have the baby.
Which you chose.
Or B, I'm divorcing you.
Okay, but you chose A.
A for arm twisting.
Do you have the keys?
B for blackmail.
Do you have them? Or do you not?
Yes, I have the goddamn... What, you think someone's gonna rob this place?
Dan turns to see them exit.
Help yourselves! Fucking shithole!
Steve slams the door. Dan looks around with no acknowledgement of Kenneth.
Hello? Hello?
He sits on the trunk, opens the letter.
Dear Mom and Dad.
Lights change. Music begins to play from Kenneth's transistor radio, not unlike the very beginning of the play. It is early morning, 1957. Dim light filters through the window, barely illuminating Kenneth. He bends over his legal pad, writing, as Bev slowly descends the stairs, dressed in her robe and slippers. She stops near the bottom.
Kenneth?
Kenneth turns down the volume on the radio.
What are you doing down here?
Writing a letter.
Oh. Did your father leave already?
I don't see the car.
What time is it?
Don't know.
I overslept.
Yep.
I don't know why I was up so late. I was up half the night and the house was so quiet. Your father was sound asleep. For some reason, my mind was just racing, and it took forever to fall asleep.
Go back to bed.
Oh. Look how you're dressed up. Why are you all dressed up like that?
Kenneth stares, doesn't answer.
Kenneth?
Job interview.
A key turns in the front door. It opens, and Francine enters in her street clothes with a scarf tied around her head. She carries a wet umbrella.
Morning.
Morning.
Morning, Francine.
Morning.
Oh, is it raining out there?
It's sprinkling a little.
I didn't even notice. Well, it's good for the grass.
She stands at the bottom of the stairs as Francine crosses past her and up the hallway. Bev hesitates.
Aren't you going back to sleep?
Oh, I will. I'm just about to.
For a moment, she stares into space, then turns to Kenneth.
But, you know, I think things are about to change. I really do. I know it's been a hard couple of years for all of us. I know they have been, but I really believe things are about to change for the better. I firmly believe that.
Kenneth waits. Bev turns and starts back up the stairs.
You have enough light there?
Uh-huh.
Well, don't hurt your eyes.
She is gone. Kenneth turns the radio back up, resumes writing. Dan continues to read. The lights slowly fade as the music concludes. The end.